Welcome to Art Bytes from the Marianna Kistler Beach Museum of Art. I'm Miki Loshki. Today, I'd like to spotlight the work of Margaret Taylor Burroughs, who used her art to promote African American culture and racial equality by focusing on her print entitled Faces of My People and related work from the museum's collection. Margaret Taylor Burroughs was born in 1915 in Louisiana, but moved to Chicago, Illinois with her family in 1920 as part of the Great Migration, in which a massive population of Black families had left southern states or northern cities, seeking better wages, living conditions, and basic freedoms. After graduating from high school, Taylor Burroughs pursued her higher education at the Chicago Teachers College and earned a teaching certificate in 1937. She furthered her education at the Art Institute of Chicago, where she earned a BA and MA in art education. While teaching art and humanities at Kennedy King Community College and Elmhurst College in Chicago, Taylor Burroughs and her husband, Charles, co-founded the DuSable Museum of African American History in 1961, originally known as the Ebony Museum of Negro History and Art, where Black culture was taught and preserved. This was a period of time when Black arts and culture were often ignored by other museums. Taylor Burroughs often depicted figures with faces that are different shades of color. Art historians attribute this to her attempting to unify people or to bring people together, regardless of the color of their skin. Nevertheless, she also showed that there were cultural barriers between Blacks and whites, preventing them from uniting. As you can observe, none of the figures in this print are looking at each other, implying a sense of disconnect and the idea that we have more work to do to close those gaps. Taylor Burroughs adapted stylistic elements of modernism in her work, including Cubism. The idea of different ways of seeing and perceiving the world was pioneered by modern artists such as Pablo Picasso. In his Girl Before a Mirror, 1932, Picasso depicted the duality of a single figure in the same space and time. One side shows the daytime of a woman, whereas the other side shows her nighttime by presenting multiple perspectives at the same time. You can see such influences in Taylor Burroughs' work through the use of simplified figures, boldly put together using different perspectives. Her version portrays the figures with half Black and half white faces. Taylor Burroughs' artistic contribution was not limited to visual art. As a poet, she often made her audience stop and think what it is like to be an African American raised in a white world. Here is a part of her 1963 poem, What Shall I Tell My Children Who Are Black? The poem ends with discovering one's true heritage to be free in this biased world. I'll lift up their heads in proud blackness with the story of their fathers and their fathers. And I shall take them into a way back time of kings and queens who ruled the Nile and measured the stars and discovered the laws of mathematics upon whose backs had been built the wealth of continents. I will tell them this and more, and his heritage shall be his weapon and his armor, will make him strong enough to win any battle he may face. And since this story is often obscured, I must sacrifice to find it for my children, even as I sacrificed to feed, clothe, and shelter them. So, this I will do for them if I love them. None will do it for me. I must find the truth of heritage for myself and pass it on to them. In years to come, I believe, because I have armed them with the truth, my children and my children's children will venerate me, for this is the truth that will make us free. Tara Burroughs' print, The Birthday Party, reflects her belief that the color of one's skin makes a minor difference when it comes to one's importance. In this work, both black and white children are intermixed and surrounding the table, waiting for a birthday cake to be cut and served. As we close this session, let's reflect on Taylor Burroughs' quote: "Art is communication. I wish my art to speak out not only for my people, but for all humanity." Today, her work is still speaking to all of us who want to follow her legacy to make this world less divisive. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope to see you again soon.